Welcome or welcome back to my channel, Midnight Makes. This is my little corner of the internet where I talk about what I've been making. And today's episode is my April sewing makes. Technically today's June 1st. We were like halfway through May, and I decided, I'll just put my April and May makes in the same episode because I had not filmed my April wrap-up. Well, I started so many things in May. Started being the keyword. I'm not finished. I didn't finish any of my May projects. I got to the point where I think I have 3. Yeah, I have 3 projects that are basically completed. They just need hemmed, buttons, all the finishing work. I never got there. But I'm going to get there in June because one of the projects I want to be able to take on vacation, and we leave on the 11th of June. So I have a week and a half to hem it, do buttonholes, attach buttons. Sorry, I got a text message from my mom. My dad has fish tanks with little baby shrimps in them. Anyways, yeah, I really didn't finish anything in May. I also was kind of in the mood to print out PDF patterns, cut and tape them, and cut the fabric out. I also like the store-bought patterns. I cut out the pattern, cut out the fabric. I have a bunch of projects that are cut out, pinned to their fabric, pinned to their patterns, and ready to sew, which I've just not gotten around to. Speaking of which, I need to start sewing them because I am running out of pins. I only have a few pins left. So I need to finish that. Okay, so let's get to what I sewed in April. So the first project that I sewed in April was my Easter dress. So, I'll hang there. Right there, I forgot. Excuse me for the sound. All right. The pattern I used is Simplicity. This is one of their vintage reproduction ones. It's from the 1950s. And I did this view with the sleeves from that view. And the fabric that I used was a sheet that I thrifted from Value Village, I think. So I love this fabric, and this project turned out so good. I will insert pictures of me wearing it. I love the fire truck going through. I love the super huge collar. And I love this fabric. It has a pretty poofy skirt. When I wore it for Easter, I only had one petticoat, and the petticoat that I had did not work with this. My other petticoat came in the mail like 2 days after Easter, which sucked. So I didn't get to wear a petticoat with it. But it's fine. So again, the fabric is from Value Village. So modifications that I made, because one of those modifications is this ribbon. The ribbon's from Joann's, I believe, was from Joann's. I added ribbon to the collar just for an extra flair, but also to kind of break up the flowers, because it needed a little something to break it up. And then the buttons I got in a pack off of Amazon. They were just daisy buttons. I actually got it for my 70s dress that I sewed up a couple months ago. Alright, what else did I do? Oh, another modification that I did was the sleeves. So it had regular inset flat, I don't know what they're called, like modern day sleeves. But I wanted that poof that you get from the 40s and sometimes 50s. I mean, it was still popular in the 50s. So what I did was, okay, I am newer to sewing, so I don't know the technical terms. But what I did was I took the sleeve pattern and I traced it onto some fabric paper, and then I slashed the sleeve, I slashed the sleeve cap right here down to about there and spread it to give it extra oomph in the sleeve. And then I did some pleats to give it a little extra poof. I'm sorry, that was a terrible explanation, but it was one of those things where I knew what I wanted. I knew how to do it. I just don't know what it's called. So I'm pretty sure it's called slash and spread when you do that. But yeah, it was on the sleeve head. It worked out really good. I wore it for Easter, paired with tights, and I have a pair of black and white Mary Jane wing tips, I think is what they're called. They're a vintage inspired shoe, and I love them. Okay, so my next pattern that I made, which is it is very wrinkly. I wore it when we were in Fairbanks on vacation for Memorial Day. I will just put pictures in. It'll be easier to show that way because it's epically wrinkled. This is the Sew Over It vintage shirt dress, and I wanted a dress that looked like ones that my great grandma used to wear. And she used to wear a lot of the shirtwaist dresses in the 40s and 50s. And all of her pictures have these beautiful dresses in them. So I decided to sew one up. And this is definitely a type of fabric that she would have worn. This fabric is a quilting cotton. The selvage edge said it was from Joann's. However, I got this fabric at Value Village. And then the buttons are hand-carved coconut shell buttons that I got off of Amazon in a big bag. But I love the way this turned out. The only modification that I made to this pattern is pockets. I put side seam pockets in. I do have another modification. So the fabric that I use for the pockets is just a muslin style cotton. I don't know. It was just some fabric that I had bought for embroidery, and I had very precious little of this fabric, and I had to really work to get the pattern pieces to fit, and there was no way I was going to be able to get pockets out of it. So I just used the embroidery fabric that I had, and the inseam pocket template that I have is hanging right there, and it's from it's a freebie from Helen's Closet, which I have since extended the pocket down, because I do find that these are, my hand fits in and my phone does fit in it, but it kind of like sticks out a little bit. Feels like if I move just right, it's going to fall out. The other modification that I made was not really a choice, it was a necessity. The back skirt panel is supposed to be cut on the fold. I did not have enough fabric, so there's a seam. I was trying to, I'm really into the make, do, and mend thing that was popular in the 40s because of rationing in World War II. And for me, this was a very make do project, because I had this fabric. I wanted this fabric as a dress. I just didn't have enough. And, well, I did have enough, but not to do it quite right, right. So I added a back seam. I just got hair in my eye. I just added a seam allowance. Again, I did not have a lot of fabric, so my seam allowance was pretty smaller on that. It's more than enough for the project, and it worked out perfectly fine. So I love this one. This was actually my favorite wear during May, which I participated in over on Instagram. I'll put my Instagram here if you want to go see what I wore during May. But this was like my favorite to throw on. I really love it. I have another one. It's actually the project that I have not hemmed buttons. And I'm doing the sleeveless version of this one. So one of the modifications that I plan to do, which I've already adjusted on the pattern, is I plan to lengthen the skirt a little bit. Just because it's kind of shorter. Again, I'm looking for the dresses like my grandma would have worn in the 40s and 50s, and this is just a little too short. It's above the knee, or it's like at the knee, so you can't see the knee, but I mean, just a little bit more. I just add a little bit more length onto the pattern for the next one. Okay, so that is that pattern. Also, as for this pattern, I don't plan to remake it, so it was just probably a one-time make just for Easter, and it's a fun dress, but I don't plan to remake this pattern, so I won't talk about what I'm gonna do in the future. Okay, so my next project that I made are the Lucille trousers from Gertie, Patterns by Gertie. This is over on her Instagram or Patreon. This is a Patreon exclusive pattern, and they are 1940s trousers, baggy with pleats. They have huge, is there a stain? Nice, there's a stain on my, okay, I will fix that. They have huge wide leg pants with a rolled cuff on the bottom. And there's two waistband options. There's this curved waistband option, and then there is a regular flat waistband. I love these so much. I had so much fun making them, and I love following Gertie's Patreon patterns because she has videos that walk you through how to sew them, especially the harder parts. I am a visual learner. I do not like reading patterns, which kind of sucks when I'm trying to do something. I like pictures, and if somebody's going to do a video and walk me through it, that's the best. I tend to, because I don't read patterns, I don't like reading patterns, so I don't read patterns. I tend to sometimes run into issues with these printed patterns because, like, oops. Yeah. Anyways, these ones, I absolutely love these. They have huge pockets, which are amazing. They are very baggy, very extra. I mean, the legs are huge. So I'm definitely planning on making more of these. I think, though, the next time I'm not going to do the cuffs like that, only because I am a klutz. And the first time I wore these, I was going down the stairs and got my foot hooked inside the cuff and almost died falling down the stairs. And I've fallen down the stairs a few times, including one time where I really messed up my ankle. So I need to not have that problem. But I love the way these turned out. They're so gorgeous. I want a brown pair. I want a black pair. I want all of the pairs. They're beautiful. And I really love Gertie's patterns because they fit me so good. I'm the big five patterns like Simplicity and McCall's and Butterick, like this one, I got to take in the seams a little bit. There's a little bit of altering that I have to do to make it fit me right. Gertie's patterns so far have worked out amazingly for me. I have not had to adjust much, if at all. So the next project that I made were the Loretta shorts. These ones have pockets that kind of pop out. Again, I'll post a picture of me wearing them. This, I forgot to mention. This fabric was from Joann's. I have no idea what. I'm not good with fabric. It feels amazing. It's like I don't know, it's some kind of apparel fabric. I apologize. I don't know. This fabric was thrifted from Value Village. These are so much fun. These are definitely bright ass shorts. Definitely they go with like a black tank top or a white tank top, something calm, because these are very bright. Again, this pattern is from Patterns by Gertie. It is another Patreon exclusive. I absolutely love her Patreon. Again, the patterns, but also the videos on sewing them. And these definitely needed I needed the videos because you have like, I think like 3 different seams that meet at this little corner, and I needed my handheld to sew these, but I love them. They turned out so cute, and I'm really getting the hang of the lapped zipper in the back with the hook and bar closure. There's hair on these, but I love these. They turned out so good. They're so much fun to wear. Definitely. They're very boom in your face fabric, but they're so cute and I love them. I'm gonna keep saying I love them because that's apparently the only thing I know how to say. My next pair is my last project, I guess, is, I don't know why I did absolutely zero zip up on the zippers, is another pair of Lucille trousers, though I cut them at...
There's a gift for you.
What?
Dog.
Okay. Thank you. Bye. Sorry. My son. Let my dog into the room because she desperately needed to be with me. She's a clingy Velcro dog to me and does not like being left alone. So she's in here making a bed on a blanket that fell on the floor. So these are the Lucille trousers again. Gertie has a cutting line for the shorts, so I use them, and I did the normal flat waistband for these ones. Cut them at the shorts line. No modifications whatsoever. Honestly, Gertie's patterns are just amazing, and I definitely plan to make more shorts like these. These are super cute, super fun to wear, and I want more shorts out of these. I don't know when I'll be doing them. Fabric is some type of thicker suiting fabric that I got thrifted from Value Village because that's where I like to get my fabric. My stomach is very grumbly. Might be time for lunch. But yeah. So that is what I sewed up in April. Again, I didn't finish anything in May. I'm going to fix that and actually finish off the stuff that I have started. I have a bunch of other plans. I have a few different pants patterns that I want to work on. I obviously want to make more Lucille trousers, and I have a couple other patterns from Gertie. Speaking of, today is the 1st. She released her pattern for the month, and I've not looked at it yet, so I'm gonna have to go do that immediately because I need to know what June's pattern is. So yeah, that is all I sewed in April, and my plans, I have a lot. We'll see what I get done. I'm really enjoying sewing my own wardrobe and being thoughtful about what I make, because I mean, this dress it had its purpose. It was my Easter dress and I love it, but it's one of those things that I'm probably gonna wear once. You know, I might wear it again, I don't know, but it served its purpose and now it's just hanging. My other clothes, however, that I sewed were all projects that I want to put into my wardrobe. They've already been in rotation in my wardrobe. I have worn them multiple times, especially my Lucille trousers and my Sew Over It vintage shirt dress. Those have been worn multiple times. I will definitely wear my shorts more, but It's still the early part of summer here in Alaska, so it is still kind of chilly and shorts are not quite there. However, our vacation is for very hot, humid climate, so I'll be able to wear those. That's all I've got for today. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.